Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is your daily Gogetemism number 47 for November 21st, 2014. Unfortunately, in our society, we have to deal with some really crazy situations. And the situation I'm going to talk about today is this: young drug boys that have drug addicted mothers that they supply the drugs to keep them from having to sell their bodies or have to steal, and deceive people, and risk their lives being hurt. It's bad enough that these young boys are selling drugs, but then having a drug addicted parent, in this case the mother, that they have to sort of take care of by giving them drugs. So it's like a real cycle, a real bad cycle of negative circumstances and bad behavior. But this is some hood shit, but nonetheless it's some real shit, and it's something that we have to deal with. Some of us on some of us have to deal with this on a personal basis. Many of us have used drugs in the past or been addicted to drugs and maybe have gone to rehab. Maybe some of us have been using for years or abusing for years and haven't taken care of it. Well, whatever the situation may be, the situation that I'm talking about with the drug boys having to supply their drug addicted mothers with drugs so they won't go out and have to give blowjobs or have to sell their body and be a prostitute and make the situation even worse. You know, it's a bad situation that a parent could be in a state, a state of mind and a state of being where they would allow their children to sell drugs because they're already on drugs. So that seems like a good way of life for now. Deep down in our hearts, we know that that's wrong. We know we shouldn't do that. But we're on drugs. So that impairs our judgment. Makes us make negative and bad decisions. And where it really gets worse is that some of those mothers will steal from their sons. If they find out where their stash is of money or drugs. When you do that, then you're putting your son's life in real jeopardy. The drug game is already dangerous enough, but when he can't come up with money to his supplier or to his connect because you done smoked it all up or shot it all up, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Whoop his mom's ass? That has happened in some situations. But that shows you how bad the drug game is, where you would make the decision to put your hands on your parents over some money. But that's what you're dealing with when we start talking about drugs. And we've been dealing with this since back in the 80s and 90s. And back in the 80s and 90s, at least you could make some money selling drugs. You ain't making no money now. The money that you make now is probably equivalent to, getting a fairly decent job. $500 or $600 a week. That's what we're dealing with. It's a crazy situation, man. Listen, for the people out there that are still selling drugs, maybe going back and forth to jail, running, scrambling, trying to get away from the cops, ducking the law and other rival drug dealers, keep your head up, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. Unfortunately, so many of our young people get guidance while they're in jail through counseling and learning that there is a better way of life. Either that or they turn out to be worse criminals than they went in there for. But I've lost a lot of people to this drug game, and so I have certain feelings about it. Most of the feelings, not necessarily bad feelings, but they ain't good feelings. That's your daily Gogetemism for November 21st, man. That's number 47. This is Urban Therapy with Sun. Remember, good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, you ain't got to choose that drug way of life, whether you're using drugs or whether you are selling drugs. You ain't got to do that. Go hard for yours in a legal way. Use the business savvy that you learned from selling drugs and put that to some decent use. And it's possible. Being able to look, man. That's how it's going down. I holler at y'all.